Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Surbhi Sharma. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 4th of July. Economic survey tabled in Indian Parliament ahead of Union budget. India remains unimpressed by Pakistan's action on Hafiz Saeed. And Afghan leaders slam Taliban over terror acts. And now for all the details. India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Thursday tabled the Economic Survey 2018 to 2019 in the Parliament. The survey, prepared by Chief Economic Advisor Krishnamurthy Subramaniam, projects the state of health of the Indian economy and outlines the challenges.
India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Thursday tabled the Economic Survey for the year 2018-19 in Indian Parliament, a day ahead of the announcement of the Union budget. The Economic Survey 2018-19 has been prepared by Chief Economic Advisor or CEC Krishnamurthy Subramanian. During a press conference in New Delhi on Thursday, Subramanian said that the Economic Survey makes a concerted effort for India to become a $5 trillion economy by 2025.
The Economic Survey's intent is to lay out a medium-term objective to ensure that the various challenges that are there of jobs, demand, exports, etc., all those are viewed as a system, and through investment, especially private investment, we create the conditions for all these macro variables to move in a positive direction.
Economic Survey for the year 2018-19 says that to become a $5 trillion economy by 2025, India needs to sustain a GDP growth rate of 8%. It says that oil prices are expected to decline in 2019-20 and government policies are expected to further lift restrictions on FDI inflows. The survey provides an authoritative, detailed and official annual summary of the current state of the Indian economy, which will act as a policy guideline to the Union budget.
Rahul Gandhi, leader of India's opposition Congress party, announced his resignation as the party chief on Wednesday after he took responsibility for losing the general election. A day after his decision, his sister Priyanka Gandhi took to Twitter and lauded him for his courageous decision.
A day after Rahul Gandhi, leader of India's opposition Congress party, announced his resignation as the party chief, his sister and party leader Priyanka Gandhi lauded him for his courageous decision. Taking to Twitter, Priyanka Gandhi said, "Few have the courage that you do, Rahul Gandhi. Deepest respect for your decision." Rahul Gandhi said on Wednesday that he had asked party bosses to find a successor after he took responsibility for losing a general election that has left the party in crisis. Under Congress constitution, the senior-most general secretary of the party would take over as interim president, which currently would put 90-year-old Motilal Vora in the top job.
राहुल गांधी जी का नेतृत्व कांग्रेस के लिए बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है। जब से वो अध्यक्ष बने हैं, 2017 में अध्यक्ष बने, तो 2017 के बाद में लगातार कांग्रेस संगठन को हर प्रदेश के अंदर में मजबूत किया।
Congress suffered a mauling for a second general election in a row from Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party. Rahul Gandhi himself lost the traditional family seat in the Nadan province of Uttar Pradesh.
A day after Pakistan claimed to have booked UN-designated terrorist Hafiz Saeed for terrorism financing, India's Foreign Ministry said on Thursday that Islamabad is trying to hoodwink the international community with its cosmetic steps against terror groups.
Pakistan is trying to hoodwink the international community with its cosmetic steps against terror groups, India's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Ravish Kumar said on Thursday. The response came after Pakistan claimed that it has booked 2008 Mumbai attacks mastermind Hafiz Saeed and 12 of his close associates for terrorism financing in 23 cases, amid growing international pressure to act against militant groups. Ravish Kumar said Pakistan's denial of presence of 1993 Mumbai attacks mastermind Dawit Ibrahim on its soil also shows its double standards.
Let us not get fooled by these cosmetic steps. You see, I think we have seen the course of such convictions in the past. We have seen where it goes, where it is headed. Pakistan's sincerity to take action against terrorists and terror groups will be judged on the basis of their ability to demonstrate verifiable, credible, and irreversible action against terror and terrorist groups operating from their soil.
Hafiz Saeed, founder of Lashkar-e-Taiba or Elite terror group, is a UN-designated global terrorist. He has been freed by Pakistani courts after being detained at his home several times in the past. The recent move follows pressure from the Financial Action Task Force or FATF, which gave Pakistan an October deadline last month to improve its efforts against terrorism financing.
In news from Pakistan, the International Monetary Fund approved a $6 billion loan package for Pakistan on Wednesday to rein in mounting debts and stave off a looming balance of payment crisis. This is Pakistan's 13th IMF bailout since the late 1980s.
The International Monetary Fund or IMF Executive Board approved a 3-year $6 billion loan package for Pakistan on Wednesday to rein in mounting debts and stave off a looming balance of payments crisis in exchange for tough austerity measures. Pakistan is facing significant economic challenges on the back of large fiscal and financial needs and weak and unbalanced growth, IMF First Deputy Managing Director David Lipton said in a statement. Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan came to power last August, inheriting an economy plagued with problems. Despite securing billions of dollars in loans from friendly countries including China and Saudi Arabia, mounting economic headwinds forced his government to turn to the IMF funding. In a bid to cut public debt, the government has set ambitious tax and revenue plans, despite failing to meet the previous year's targets and hiked prices in the creaking energy sector. Pakistan's economic outlook has sharply deteriorated over the past year. Inflation at 9% in May is likely to rise to 11 to 13% during the 2019 to 2020 fiscal year, according to official forecasts.
In news from Afghanistan, Afghan Chief Executive Abdullah and First Vice President General Abdul Rashid Dostum slammed Taliban's recent attack in capital Kabul, which killed at least 6 people and wounded more than 100.
Afghanistan's Chief Executive Abdullah was welcomed by First Vice President General Abdul Rashid Dostum in Afghanistan's northern Sherbagan city on Wednesday. In wake of the recent Taliban attack in Afghan capital Kabul, General Dostum during the meeting labelled the Taliban as a repressive and brutal group that does not bear mercy even on women and children during their violent acts. He said that the Afghan armed forces must crush the fanatic group over the atrocities they have committed against the people of Afghanistan.
دل با آرمان نرویم، دل با آرمان نمریم. ما دیگه امارت نمیخوایم. بگذارین انتقام ملت و بیچاره افغانستان که همه روز با خاک خون میکشند انتقام هم باید بگیریم.
Meanwhile, Abdullah also lashed out at the Taliban, saying recent suicide attacks indicate that the resurgent group has no will for peace to be maintained in Afghanistan.
دست به دست هم بدیم و یک صدا را بلند کنیم که صدای تأمین صلح است، اما با کسایی که در برابر مردم، در برابر آرمان مردم و سرنوشت مردم استاد میشن، یک دست استاده باشیم.
The Taliban on Monday launched a brazen attack on a military installation in Kabul, killing at least 6 people and wounding over 100.
More news from Afghanistan. The National Procurement Authority has approved fund for purchasing over 17,000 biometric identification devices ahead of Afghan presidential elections in September. The controversial biometric devices were first used in the parliamentary elections last year, which were marred by widespread allegations of fraud and rigging.
National Procurement Authority or NPA in Afghanistan has approved fund for purchasing around 17,000 biometric identification devices ahead of the presidential elections in September. The approval comes after the use of biometric devices sparked major controversies during last year's parliamentary elections, which were marred by widespread allegations of fraud and rigging. Meanwhile, the Independent Election Commission or IEC has said that it will start reforming the list of voters in the next few days.
کمیسیون تدارکات ملی در یک جلسه فوق‌العاده درخواست کمیسیون مستقل انتخابات مبنی بر تهیه و تدارک 17865 دستگاه بایومتریک مع ملحقاتش که شامل پاور بانک، پرنتر و کاغذش میشد به ارزش بیش از 14.14 میلیون یورو منظور کرد.
کمپانی خودش با ما همکاری میکنه و تمام ترنینگ‌ها با عهده خود کمپانی هست که اینا با ما آموزش میدن برای کسایی که روز انتخابات ترنرهای ما هستن اینا باید خود ترنینگ خوبتر و بهتر ببینن.
Biometric devices were used in the parliamentary elections in October 2018 for the first time in Afghanistan and will now be used for the presidential elections in September this year. The use of the biometric system was advised by the election law, which faced an amendment in February.
In news from Bangladesh, a Bangladeshi court on Wednesday sentenced 9 members of the main opposition party to death for planning attack against Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina 25 years ago. The attack in 1994 took place at the time when Hasina was in opposition and her arch-rival Khalida Zia was Prime Minister. A Bangladeshi court on Wednesday sentenced 9 members of the main opposition party to death and handed life terms to another 25 for attempting to kill Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina 25 years ago. 13 people were also jailed for 10 years for their part in the attack on a train carrying Hasina in 1994, a government lawyer said. Hasina was also targeted in 2004 when attackers threw grenades at a rally in Dhaka, killing 24 people and wounding more than 500. Hasina was in opposition and her arch-rival Khalida Zia was Prime Minister at that time of the attack. Now Zia and her Bangladesh Nationalist Party or BNP are the opposition. Hasina's administration has been accused of suppressing dissent and jailing critics, including supporters of the BNP. Zia is now in jail on corruption charges that she said were politically motivated. Bangladeshi politics has been mired for years in rivalry between Hasina and Zia. Both women are related to former national leaders and have alternated as prime ministers for most of the past 2 decades. A goldsmith in southern India has made a miniature World Cup trophy to wish the Indian team luck in the ongoing World Cup Championship in England. India is in semi-finals of the tournament and will play against Sri Lanka next on July 6th.
A goldsmith in India's southern Bengaluru city has made a miniature World Cup trophy to wish the Indian team luck in the ongoing World Cup Championship in England. The trophy, weighing 0.490 milligrams and measuring 1.5 centimeters, is attracting curious local residents from the area to his shop. The goldsmith Nagraj Revankar on Wednesday said he had made the miniature World Cup trophy to make the cricket fans happy.
अभी क्रिकेट सीजन चल रहा है ना, इसलिए मेरे को बहुत आशा था और क्रिकेट फैंस को बहुत खुश होने का लिए ये बनाए तो सभी खुश हो जाता है. हमारा इंडिया इस बार विश्व कप जीतना है, इसीलिए वो एक मन में रख के इस छोटा वाला वर्ल्ड कप किया हूँ मैं.
India defeated Bangladesh on July 2nd to reach the semi-finals of the World Cup. The team is second with 13 points, one behind Australia. India's next match in the tournament is with Sri Lanka on July 6th.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.